Welcome back to Baron's New Vegas Energy Gun Guide. And if you remember a small bit of foreshadowing in the Gauss rifle video, you remember that there is a weapon called the Alien Blaster, and it is precariously placed in the place where the YCS-186 can be obtained. The option comes down to if you think that the bullet in your head made you a little bit crazy. For yours truly, I always take that option, and maybe that also makes you a target for alien abduction, but who knows? The aliens that orbit and observe Earth have been doing so for a long time, at least in the Fallout universe. I don't really have a timeline for the ones that orbit ours. For what purpose and why, no one knows, but their existence is undeniable. Alien weapons are on an entirely different level of power than anything invented by humankind. Even their smallest weapons are better than Earth-made plasma weapons in a very XCOM style. This alien race is known as the Zetans, and the people at Bethesda have an obsession with them for benefit or hazard. It is said that most of the developments of the Enclave rely in some small part to recovered Zetian tech, but not enough to make a full replica. There is even one rumored to be in the Enclave Poseidon oil rig. Either way, it has been a long-held conspiracy, and it is also a true one. Throughout the years, the Zetians have appeared as if destined by fate to do so in front of the player character, whatever they may be. Mostly in the form of a crashed ship, the landing party in the Mojave is a rarity in that they are alive and instead looking to repair their craft. Although at the time of Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 4, the main Zetian ship belongs to the Lone Wanderer through the DLC Mothership Zeta. How or why more keep showing up is a mystery, but every time they leave a little bit of themselves and their weaponry in the wasteland. They seem to be a terribly violent race, while being fairly physically weak, so their parties are always armed and quite dangerous. Now, for the Alien Blaster, it is of a different type to the Alien Blaster found a few dozen decades before. No longer using small energy cells, it has been changed to use a specifically made alien energy cell and is capable of much higher damage ceilings as a result. It was far beyond the capabilities of the pre-war Enclave to make these energy cells, let alone the post-war Wastelands one. These alien power cells are the only ones of its kind in the Mojave, as these Zetians are the only ones in the Wasteland. The shape of this new series of alien blasters are smoother and closer to the pulp sci-fi alien weapons with a simple bulbous design with fins and glowing lines across the casings. To say what mechanism of firing it uses, all that can be said is that it is stronger than fusion cells and that it is blue. That being said, the output of this weapon is incredibly potent and will kill most enemies in a single strike. Now, you may ask how it manages this incredible feat with only 75 base damage, which is quite high but not miraculous. It can fire 1.8 times per second for a DPS of 131.3, and with a 10-cell magazine, gives it 10 shots, and with a 2.3 second reload, its sustained DPS is around 93.2. Or is it? Skipping ahead to crit performance, it does 50 more damage on a crit, but it has a crit multiplier of 100 times, meaning it will always crit no matter what. Meaning each shot is actually 125 damage, meaning its normal DPS is 225 and its sustained DPS is 155. A headshot is then 250 damage, and a sneak headshot is 500 damage. Now this is weaker than the Capital Wasteland version, maybe due to the years in exile weakening it, but it is still impressive. What's more is the Alien Blaster has the best spread in the game, shared only by a few weapons at 0. This means it is fantastic and VATS and real-time shooting, although it lacks any form of iron sights. In VATS, it only costs 20 AP, giving it an efficiency of 6.25 damage per AP, which is on par with automatics when you take into account its critical damage. Alien Blaster is a limited weapon. It has a few amount of cells that you can get, and after that, there's no more. However, it is a light weapon, and it is a very good weapon. At only 2 weight, which like the pulse gun can be reduced to 1 with a perk, and a strength requirement of only 1, it's very easy for someone to carry. It does require energy weapons of 75, so it does need a dedicated nerd. Although, given its power and its ability to save you in certain situations, it's probably a weapon you always want to have on you. As stated before, the Alien Blaster can only be found with the help of the Wild Wasteland trait, and it can be found near the Hurwitz farm. And, if it is taken, then that means the YCS-186 is no longer normally obtainable. There is a significant trade-off to this, as they are both very powerful. If you play New Vegas like one should to get to the ending, the Alien Blaster could be the key to getting rid of any obstacle. But if you stretch it out, the YCS-186 might be the better choice. Now, once it is out of ammo, you can't use it again, and the Alien Blaster does sell for a pretty penny at 4,000 caps, and can finance your next purchase quite well. Also, for a unique weapon and one of significant alien design, there is no mod for it, Gunrunner Arsenal or otherwise, and if there were, you'd have to put them on quick. The Alien Blaster from the Mojave is much more durable than the one in the Capital Wasteland, although that one did survive a shuttle crash, so damage is kind of to be expected. At 2,495 alien power cells, the Alien Blaster will never break, simply because you do not have the ammo in an unmodded playthrough to break it. Of course, mods and the console can both solve this issue. And as for the ammo, it is completely unique and without any special traits, although it is assumed that the alien power cells give it its unique trait of always scoring critical hits. Now, what the benefit of also having that high durability means you don't have to repair it to have the maximum damage for its entire life use. Now, for those that need to plan the acquisition at the Hurwitz farm, the Alien Blaster is carried by the alien captain, and not his 2 fellows. In fact, the Zacians with him are not hostile unless the captain has found a target, meaning if you snipe the captain from far enough away, then his friends won't care and will maintain neutrality with you. They don't have much to say and are wielding tri-beam laser rifles. Engaging them all in combat can cause your early demise, but they aren't too hard to kill with your standard sniper rifle. The captain also has all the ammo, which varies between 140 to 272, so reload the save if you need to. In conclusion, the Alien Blaster is little more than tradition, and one of the most powerful weapons unleashed on the Wasteland. The Capital Wasteland version is nearly twice as powerful, with all the perks at 310 damage with a basic shot, and maxing at 1,240 damage on a sneak headshot, which nothing could live after another shot to the head. Or rather, nothing should. The Capital Wasteland is full of very tough enemies. In the Mojave, the most you can rely on is 657 damage, which is still enough to kill almost anything, all at 50 energy weapons. What this really helps with is the final battle, killing the Legate in 2 or 4 headshots and killing his buddies in 1. It makes short work of difficult fights and should be used as such. Hence, it should always be worn for whenever you forget your pulse gun or the people you are fighting are wearing just plain metal. While it is tempting to have it as a museum piece, it is a weapon to be used and then to be put in a museum. You have around 200 shots to use, find 200 enemies, and make sure they die.